story opens in silence. Not peace, the kind of silence that feels alive, crawling against your skin. Inside a pitch-black tunnel, a woman waits, Selene, a ghost in human form, her finger resting against the trigger of a sniper rifle. For hours she has not moved, not breathed too loud, not blinked too long. Her target, a government officer. The plane lands. The man steps out. One shot tears the silence apart. His skull explodes in a mist of red. By the time anyone screams, Selene's already gone, swallowed back into the darkness. She does not celebrate. Her footsteps lead her to a graveyard where her father waits by her mother's tombstone. As always, she hands him the empty casing. He stares at it, hollow-eyed, before whispering, "Next year, I won't be here. The cancer will finish me. And if it doesn't, I'll end it myself on February 14th. Selene's mask cracks. Her hands tremble. A contract killer feared worldwide. Reduced to a grieving daughter. Far away, Kael wakes in terror again. His dreams replay every kill he ever made. Faces torn apart by his bullets, eyes that never close, mouths frozen in screams. He walks to the shoreline at night, diary in hand, the waves whispering like the dead. Then his phone buzzes. A message. No words. Just coordinates. Kael follows. Soon, he is face to face with Commander Barco, a woman whose smile is carved like a knife wound. "You were the best," she says coldly. "Over 200 dead by your hand. I need you again." Kael's voice is dry, broken. "Why me?" Bardo leans forward. "If you vanish tomorrow, is there a single soul alive who will notice?" Kael's silence is answer enough. "Good," Bardo whispers. "You leave tonight." The plane ride feels like a coffin in the sky. Soldiers sit beside him, their faces expressionless. When Kael asks about the mission, one finally speaks. "Walk north, 32 kilometers. There, you'll find the tower. Do not ask questions. Do not disobey. And pray you never hear the siren." Then they push him out into the night. After days of brutal trekking, Kael finds the watchtower. It overlooks something impossible. A pit the size of a city, blacker than the night itself. The locals call it God's grave. The outgoing guard, JD, explains, "You watch the abyss. Not for them, but for us. Down there live the Hollowmen, things that used to be human. If one climbs out, you put it down. If many climb out, hope the siren never sounds." To demonstrate, JD tosses a grenade into the pit. For a moment, silence. Then, from the depths, a roar so deep the ground itself shivers. A sound not meant for human ears. Kael's gut twists. The abyss is not empty. JD departs in a helicopter, laughing with relief. But as he climbs the rope, a soldier casually shoots him through the chest. His body swings, then falls, vanishing into the darkness. Kael's stomach drops. There is no going home. Days bleed into nights. Kael keeps watch. The tower creaks like it's alive, its walls carved with the ravings of past guards. They whisper my name. The pit watches back. When the siren sounds, run, sleep becomes dangerous. In the dead of night, shapes crawl on the pit walls. Twisted silhouettes, too many limbs, too long to be human. Sometimes they just stare. Sometimes they climb higher. And then, through his scope, Kael sees her. Another tower across the abyss. A figure with a rifle. The woman, Selene. They are forbidden to speak. But loneliness kills faster than bullets. Using whiteboards, they start to write messages. Names, jokes, Secrets. Soon, the silence is broken. And once broken, silence can never return. The abyss does not forgive distractions. The first swarm arrives like a tide. Pale bodies with eyeless faces climb the pit walls, shrieking. Their mouths open too wide, teeth too many. Kael fires, his bullets tearing skulls apart. Across the pit, Selene does the same. Together they rain hell, but for every monster they kill, 3 more climb. The air fills with screams, gunfire, and the reek of rot. At last, the swarm retreats. Silence falls again, heavier than before. Kael and Selene lock eyes through their scopes. For the first time, they trust someone. For the first time, the abyss feels survivable. But then February 14th comes. Selene writes, "I don't want to be alone tonight." Her father's words echo inside her skull. Kael knows the rules. Knows crossing means death. And still, he does it. The rope groans as he crawls across the abyss. Shadows move beneath him, hands stretching upward from the black. One almost catches his boob before he falls into her arms. That night, for a moment, they feel human again. They laugh. They fight. They even dance in the dark. But the abyss does not allow happiness. The rope snaps. Kael plunges. Selene screams and jumps. Together they fall, swallowed into the abyss itself. Down here, the air tastes of ash. Corpses are nailed into the walls, veins sprouting vines, bodies moving even without heads. Twisted soldiers with missing jaws stagger forward, their bones wrapped in fungus. They discover ruins, a hidden lab. Files reveal the truth. The abyss was a testing site. In 1940, chemicals spilled, mutating soldiers into Hollowmen. The infection never died. It learned. It evolved. In Bartow, she was never a commander. She was the executioner. Guards like Kael and Selene weren't protectors. They were prisoners, bait. When the siren sounds, the ground shakes. They stumble into a cavern, staring at the nightmare heart of it all, a dormant nuclear missile, built to erase the infection if it spreads. The siren isn't a warning, it's the countdown, and the Hollowmen are awake. They run. Clawing hands rip at them, screams echoing in the black. Kael turns back, firing until his rifle clicks empty. Selene begs him to keep running, but Kael already knows. He takes one final shot, the longest of his life, hitting the missile's trigger mechanism. The abyss howls in fury as the countdown begins. Selene escapes the blast radius. Kael doesn't. The explosion swallows everything. Flesh, stone, monsters, towers gone in white fire. Months later, in France, Selene works in silence. No rifle, no abyss. Just the sound of dishes clattering in a cafe. But every night, she opens Kael's diary, the poem he wrote for her, and weeps. Until one evening, she looks up. A man stands in the doorway, burned, scarred, eyes haunted. But alive, Kael. Her heart stops. Then she runs. The abyss may be gone, but its shadows are never far.